What's going on, guys? Peter Parkour here of the Distorted Theorists here on Sci-Fi on the Rock Day 3. And I am visited by a very special cosplay, something that myself and Justin are big fans of, listening to Critical Role on Twitch and on their podcast. And I am visited by Percival, Fredrickstein, von Musel, Kowalski, de Rolo III.
But you can call him Percy.
But I can call him Percy. Now, so who are you? And we've already said who your cosplaying is, but let's dig into this. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Well, I'm Nicholas Gushue. I'm a cosplayer from right here in St. John's, Newfoundland. And I'm cosplaying Percy de Rolo from Critical Role. This has been a big dream of mine for a long time.
You contacted myself and Justin for about a month ago.
Yes.
And Justin sent me the screen grab, and I got very excited. Justin actually had to we had to do a rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to, because we were both heavily into D&D now. So we're,
oh, that's amazing.
I won. We were supposed to play tonight, but things have come up. But that's it. That's all we can do. This is, it's full. It's right down to the boots.
It's a lot.
It's pants. We got everything. So what went into creating this cosplay?
A lot of thought went into creating this cosplay, because I've been thinking about doing this since about 2019.
Okay.
This is when I first got into Critical Role. And I don't know what it was about Percy that just drew me to him as like an idea to cosplay, because I've been into cosplay for a while. This was like the first big project. Like, I learned how to sew, I learned how to make props with foam, toxic glue. I probably should not have been using in the basement, but what else can you do?
Lost a few brain cells.
Yeah, so many things. That's actually why I use it's a long hair wig, because I already had to learn so much to make this. I'm not gonna try and risk cutting a wig on my own.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, it was cutting. It was a lot of thrift stores. So this is a thrift stored jacket, or rain jacket, or trench coat. With blankets cut up and sewn onto it.
Yeah, because I mean, we get the fuzzies there.
Yeah, I do not recommend as an idea. Fun fact: the epaulettes, the shoulder thing here, they are covering up the terrible job I did of trying to sew the sleeves over it because it was too tight. So I'll just cover it up with some nice old-fashioned epaulettes. You can see there's like a design on the back. Give them sort of the old-timey feel that Percy definitely has. And also just a lot of design thought went into like practicalities. So people who are familiar with the show a lot will notice that I'm wearing diplomacy on the wrong hand. It's supposed to be on the left hand, but I'm left-handed. But I knew I might be doing some writing and some fine things with my hand. I'd prefer to be doing it with this hand rather than this. Yep. So a lot of thought went into things like that.
And the props that you've got too. You've got a version of Percy's mask.
Yes. I'm happy to just unclip that.
Oh, wow.
There, it's a spirit Halloween mask with some goggles glued onto it, all painted down, some foam added there. It was one of the first props I made for Percy, mainly because it was just, all right, Spirit Halloween's open, let's raid it.
Let's go nuts. Right. And you've got the glasses with all the different lenses.
Actually, I'm wrong. That was the first thing I made. I made that Halloween 2019 of just mixing stuff together. It was sort of like a weird talisman to myself to like commit to making Percy. It's like, I have these glasses, I'm going to finish this even if it kills me.
Absolutely. And we've got Pepperbox and Bad News as well.
Be able to take this out.
Oh, you were working on it earlier before we started filming.
Yeah, it was a little fused here. You can take a look at it. I carved in the names for the list.
Silas, Delilah, Ripley, Anders, Stonefell.
Yeah.
And the last one technically was going to be meant for...
It was going to be meant for Percy. It was a thing that both Matt and Taliesin had independently come up with as an idea.
Wow, that is really cool. And then we've got our Bad News. I'll let you slot Pepperbox back in there.
Sure. Here, go on. Take a look. Wow. Yeah. So these were made of a bunch of kit bashed items. So both this, the base for Pepperbox, and this were made from these two toy plastic guns that were used for the Nintendo Wii. Like you slide the Wii.
I remember the mode. Yes. The Cabela's games. Right.
Yes. So I cut those up and then added on foam and this. And actually, the lenses here are the lenses to a pair of goggles, not these exact pair of goggles, but the same style.
Wow, that's cool.
To create the scope for Bad News there.
And again, and this is part of it. If you ran into Sheldon, one of our featured guests that we've had here a couple of times, he talks about the different types. Like cosplay is cosplay. Kelly Ray mentioned this yesterday. You are playing as somebody else, and it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, like, again, some of these big grandiose ones, like if you have to buy, if you have to make, it doesn't matter. It's your choice of what you want to do. And it is very cool to see this because a lot of work has gone into this, and it's amazing, I have to say. I appreciate it, but I'm sure you appreciate it just that much more.
I do. Cosplay for me literally is like the definition costume play. If you have something that makes you feel like you are wearing your character, and you are in a form of play, which is just some form of joyous activity of replicating like a skill or an activity, that is cosplay. If you have a costume, if you have things scrounged together from your costume like closet, that's the word I'm looking for.
There we go.
The heat is starting to get to me.
Yeah, I know it is.
The fur, but that is cosplay.
Day 3 of 3. So, you mentioned that you started this in Halloween in 2019. So, was that the moment that like started you into cosplay?
No, I was really into costuming like from a young age. With like Halloween is like obviously, I'm pretty sure every cosplayer got to go ham once on Halloween, and it just changed the directory of their lives forever. And just going in and like being at Sci-Fi on the Rock was one of the other big things. Seeing people
absolutely.
I do say that like you can be cosplay at like any level, doesn't matter what you do, but I will admit seeing the love and dedication that people put into cosplay crafting, especially, that was a very big influence and inspiration to me. Like, this is something I can see myself enjoy doing.
And I've mentioned it before in other videos, if any reviewers have watched, it's the community.
The community
Everyone's
is
so
so
helpful.
amazing. Yes.
If there's advice, if there's tips, if there's ideas that you can pull from someone, because nobody's going to be upset if there was another Percy here. You're not going to be mad about that.
Of course, no. People love doubling up because you see two people dressed from the same fandom, but also as used just for the same character. They will run towards each other and start immediately talking about this thing that they love, and I think that's amazing. It's beautiful.
One of the best examples I've seen of that was yesterday when there was a Catwoman that was walking around, and someone was coming down as Garfield, and the two of them just lost their minds. I'm like, it's different. You know what? Whatever. Let the cats have their day. All right. Now, I got to ask a deep question for you. All right. So, unlimited time, unlimited money. None of these are an issue. What is your dream cosplay? What would you absolutely love to create?
See, I love this question now because this was the dream for so long.
And now you've done it.
I do love being able to be put on the spot because there's so many ideas that you have of like that, like a white whale. Like, I guess currently the sort of like big, I don't know if this will be next year or maybe some other time in the future, as sort of just like a fun idea would be, for those of you who watch the latest Exandria Unlimited Calamity that just came out, Sarah Gruckman, that's an idea I've started having.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm not in the furry community, but sort of like I'm going to think about talking to people in that, see how do they design sort of like those kinds of like animalistic suits. Just like not like a full suit, more just like features, like for the head, maybe something for the hands or feet. But that I don't really know what the final game is. Like, a lot of ideas have been thrown around in my brain for a long time, just as like, oh, that'd be great to do one day.
And that's part of what these are, because you see so many people doing things. I've mentioned this about 1,000 times that I mentioned this. I want to do a Mandalorian, and there's literally a Mandalorian sitting right over there. And it's just like, that's what I want to do. I want to have that full, and it's full. It is an awesome suit. All right, so enough about cosplay. We're enough about that.
All right.
So what in the world of geek, what in the world of sci-fi, what in the world of nerdiness is coming out in the next couple of months or even years that has got your motor running?
That's actually a really interesting question because like things have been exciting me for a while in terms of things that are coming out. And I don't think there's like a specific, if I'm reading into the question correctly, any like specific property or event or film or item that's coming out.
Community, video game, company.
Nothing really is like exciting me as much as like the way that fandom is just in a general direction is going into becoming such a protective community.
That's an awesome answer.
Yeah, like there's not like I am of course excited for so many things. Like I was very excited for EXU Calamity and for Campaign 3 and moving beyond that, Marvel movies and other properties. All of that excites me really. I mean, I guess the basic answer to the question is the Percy Jackson series. That's definitely something that's coming out that I'm very excited. Disney Plus.
Was it? Sorry.
It's something I'm very excited for. But just generally, I'm just always excited to see what people are coming up with on their own, on seeing projects. I'm always delighted to see what engine books are being released, especially because I'm friends with one of the authors, so those
Fair
are always
enough.
fantastic to hear about. But just generally, like seeing the community grow closer and more connected in a way that's also healthy and loving and accepting of all sorts of people, no matter where they come from or what they identify as. That is what always makes me the most excited, and that's why I love things like Sci-Fi on the Rock. I'm always excited for the panels and to see what people bring, but I'm more excited to see what people bring just because it's amazing to see people who love something so much. And they would put themselves in a coat with fur in the middle of June in a glass building.
Yes, in a glass box, a glass cage of emotions. Now, before we sign off, because this has been an excellent interview, but I got to say, is there anything that you want to plug? Any of your socials that you want to throw out? Instagram, TikTok, any of that
I would love to shout out. I have a TikTok account that is NW Gushue at TikTok. Just that. You'll see my face plastered on 2 days doing a lot of dumb things. Not so much cosplay as much as there's a lot of D&D and random memes every now and then. But
we're into that. We're all right.
I also have Nick Gushue Cosplay on Instagram. And that's about it for right now.
Well, perfect. And I want to thank you for coming by, because again, this is amazing. Oh no, I don't sweat. We reached out, and you reached out to us, so that was excellent. So as always, guys, before we sign off, I always want to take the obligatory moment to make sure that if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, follow, drop the comments below. Let Nick know what you thought of their costume, because this is, I love it. I'm a little bit biased when it comes to Critical Role, but I love it. And make sure to hit that notification bell to make sure that you are always aware of when the Distorted Theorists are going to be dropping some content. But that is going to be it for us. I am Peter Parkour of the Distorted Theorists, and like we always say on the channel, keep it real.